A customer sent in their mainboard for their Sony TV with model number XBR 65X900E, and the issue they were experiencing was that the TV was completely dead, had no power whatsoever, not even a standby light. They did request that we do a video on the repair, so that's what we're going to be doing today. My first step is to confirm their symptoms, so we're going to go ahead and bench test it. A lot of the Sony mainboards we work on belong to very large sets, like this one for a 65-inch, others are for 75 or even 85-inch models. So in order to avoid having to move around 85, 75, 65-inch sets, we have miniaturized the TVs onto platforms. So we're going to be using our platform to test the mainboard. So we're going to go ahead and plug in our mainboard. We have our power connector over here. We have our audio, IR sensor, and we don't actually need to connect a lot of the rest. Next, we'll install our ribbon cables. If you have a mainboard that you would like to send in for us to fix, we do offer the flat rate services, which come with a 1-year warranty. Those are available on our website, which I will link in the description down below. And finally, we'll plug in our power. Now I have my standby light all the way over here, and it's not turning on. I have my buttons over here. Not getting it to power on. We're going to try with the remote. I'm not getting any response. I'm doing a quick check on the optical light. I'm not seeing anything. I do see below we have our LEDs for the LED driver board are on, but the mainboard itself is not actually turning on. So to me that confirms it. The mainboard is defective. So we'll turn everything off and we'll disconnect the mainboard and bring it back to our workbench. Most commonly, when we see a completely dead no power fault for these Sony mainboards, it's going to be due to a defective eMMC chip. The eMMC chip is this chip right over here. eMMC stands for Embedded Multimedia Card. What it does essentially is hold the operating system for the entire TV. So it would make sense that if the chip holding the operating system starts to fail, the TV itself would no longer be able to turn on. We sometimes also see other faults like the TV will start cycling on and off, or it will turn on but not be able to fully boot. Now, the tricky part about confirming whether or not the eMMC chip is defective or not is that we have to remove it off of the circuit board and install it into a specialized programmer that will then analyze the chip and confirm whether or not the chip has failed. That is a little bit of a tricky step because, as you can tell, there are no pins on the chip. Now, because there are no pins on the perimeter of the chip, it means that it's connected to the board via a ball grid array, otherwise known as BGA. The ball grid array is hundreds of little solder balls in rows connecting the eMMC chip to the PCB. In order for us to remove it, we have to use a rework machine. So let's bring the board to the rework machine. The reason we use this rework machine is because it heats the circuit board from the bottom and the chip from the top very precisely and simultaneously until the solder reaches its melting point. This allows us to remove the chip without damaging nearby components or creating uneven heat distribution, which could warp the board. We've just about reached the end of our rework profile, which means the solder should now be molten and the chip ready to lift off. To confirm this, we give the chip a gentle prod. If it doesn't move, the solder hasn't fully melted yet and the chip is not ready for removal. If it does move, it confirms the solder is molten and the chip can safely be lifted off the board. Next, we install the chip into our specialized programming tool, the Easy JTAG Plus, to analyze its condition. And it's looking like the chip is in such shape that it actually can't be detected properly from our programming tool. Let's try one more time. It looks like it's detecting all the connections, but still can't communicate with the chip. Now let's compare that to a brand new identical chip. Obviously it's detecting, so let's program it. Now these replacement chips come blank and need to be programmed before they can function properly with the TV. The software itself isn't publicly available, and we were only able to access it by downloading the data from a known good chip on a working board. While this chip is being programmed, which will take a few more minutes, let's prepare the board for installation of the new chip. First, we remove any remaining original solder from the board. We apply a small amount of flux to improve solder flow, then use desolder wick to clean off the rest. We want the surface completely flat and free of leftover solder, otherwise the replacement chip may not attach properly. The new chip already has fresh solder balls attached to the underside, so once the board is cleaned with isopropyl alcohol, we apply a little more flux to ensure proper flow and adhesion. After that, the machine takes care of the rest of the installation process. Now that the machine has finished attaching the replacement eMMC chip to the board, we can go ahead and do our final post-repair testing using that test platform. Let's go ahead and plug the TV back in, or the platform back in. And let's see. Okay, actually we are getting a picture and our standby light is on. All right, we're getting our logo. We'll plug in our HDMI 1. I'm just putting in a Fire Stick right now. All right, our audio is coming through, our video is coming through. And our picture is upside down, but you can see that we have full picture and audio is coming through properly. So that confirms it. We have a successful repair. So that concludes our repair. If you found the video helpful or useful, make sure to leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.